Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, good evening. I hope you're having a great time and I welcome you back to some more racing in F1 Total in Division 1 and is Gabriel, your usual commentator, and we are here for a very historical special venue, not only on the calendar but in the leagues, in F1 Total's history. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight for the 250th race in F1 Total's history ever since Division 1 was born back in 2018. If I remember correctly, that's about 7 years of league racing that are still holding on strong today. We are here still doing what we enjoy the most, and we can finally celebrate such an historical goal, I have to say, for the league. 250 race ever since Division 1 started, and we are celebrating that in a very special way because today we are gonna race. Well, not we, the drivers. The drivers are gonna race here at Silverstone for the 7th round of the 17th season. They are gonna have to endure a 100% race distance. You've heard that correctly. It's not the normal length of a league race, a 50% league race. Now it's double of that. It's 100%. It's 305 kilometers, or better, virtual kilometers, our drivers are gonna have to endure today, and it's gonna be 52 laps at the very first track that started it all, that started Formula One back in 1950. Well, that's about real Formula One, and we just thought it would be fitting to celebrate this mileage at an historical track like Silverstone. It just makes sense, and our drivers are going to have to endure 52 laps of this beautiful, iconic, classical track. 5.8 kilometers in length. They usually race about 150 kilometers in total during a normal league race. That's 50% race distance. 100%, that's a little bit above 300 kilometers. And if you're a long time Formula One fan, you might know just how unpredictable the weather is around Silverstone. We've seen that countless times, even at the most recent real life Formula One event. We've had a Silverstone race that just had absolutely chaos and unpredictable weather conditions, and it's been like that for many years. And the thing is, when you have rain at a 50% race, it's usually like half and half. Like it could be half dry and half wet, or vice versa. But with 100% race distance, that's obviously more time the drivers are gonna have to drive, and it just leaves so much room for more unpredictability, for more just more time for the conditions to change. For all we know, we could have like wet, dry, and wet, or dry, wet, and dry. Now, I've actually been informed about the weather report that it's gonna be a dry qualifying. Qualifying is gonna stay normal, just one short qualifying session of 18 minutes, the usual standard we keep for 50% races. But the race itself is gonna be 100%. And since it's gonna be 52 laps, I might think like we could get two stops. Like if it was all dry, it's not gonna be all dry. I've been informed that the race is gonna start dry and it's gonna start becoming wet. Rain is gonna hit the track at pretty much half the race. So we're gonna have the first half dry, the second half wet, and the rain is gonna keep increasing towards the end. Maybe we could see some full wet conditions for all we know. But my point is, even if it was all dry, I reckon we could see two stops. But I do think we're gonna definitely see two stops, maybe even three stops, for how unpredictable the weather conditions are gonna be. And yeah, this really takes a toll on a driver's capability to just stay clear all the way through from start to finish. Just have that mental clarity that is going to be absolutely essential to bring home a good result. Just stay focused all the way through, and it's going to be like an endurance race. It's going to last about 90 minutes or so. And I don't think it's the first time ever we've done a 100% race in the league's history. I'm sure there have been some others in the league's past. Maybe it was Zir, maybe it was Realistic Racing League, I'm not quite sure. So some drivers might still have some experience in that. But I don't know, but I guess we will see just how it's gonna play out tonight, and I'm absolutely all up for it. I reckon we are in for a very, very exciting and a special, unique race, I should say. And I can't wait to see how everything plays out. But that's enough yapping. Now we can actually go through some other stuff before we actually focus on the qualifying itself. First of all, what we're seeing right now is that the game recently added a special McLaren livery. That's the chrome livery on the McLaren that was used at Silverstone this year, I think. I'm actually not sure. But now the drivers actually have a choice whether they want to run the normal McLaren livery or the special livery, the chrome livery, and that's gonna also be the case for other special liveries that will be added throughout the game. As we now can see Kartracer using the McLaren chrome livery, while Sean is going for the normal standard 2025 McLaren livery. What else I was gonna say about the grid? Because there are some new faces and some returning faces on the grid tonight. We've got a 16 car grid, and we've got some returning and some new faces. Some returning faces, I would say the one sitting provisionally on pole position, that's VNC Lars van der Linden, usually making himself known in the esports scene. We've seen him in the esports division we've done a few months ago. That was towards the end of F1 24. What else do we have? We have Lightning Luke, who for me I think is a new driver. We got Wes, who's a relatively new driver, but I do think he actually raced Singapore last week, which I wasn't able to commentate. We've got Thok, a very well-known, he was very well known as a Division 2 backmarker. Not really that much you can say about him. That's just how he was known, and he's trying to prove himself as a Division 1 driver tonight. We've got Jules Valentine. That's definitely a historical name in F1 Total. And who else do we have? We have a driver who just set himself up in 2P4. That's Antonio, and I can't see the full name. That's it's too long. I can't see it. Oh, screw it. We'll just call him Antonio. Antonio, who I think I've seen him before, still in the esports division a few months ago. I'm actually not 100% sure about that, but he's here tonight for Division 1, ready to put on a show for us. And that's already more than half of qualifying done. And before we actually start focusing on that once again, we are gonna have a look at the standings after the Singapore race last week, because it was a very interesting result and a very important result, I should say, because Kartracer ended up winning that Singapore race. What used to be, what still is, Felix's favorite track and best track. Actually, the win was handed to the current championship leader Kartracer, who got himself the 26 points, even with the fastest lap. And actually, Felix didn't even attend the race, matter of fact. And I won't say why he didn't attend the race. As we see Lars van der Linden spinning halfway through Brooklands as he was pushing through the very fast left-hander. But that's his run done for the moment. But now we are looking at Alex pushing, who's improving by 2 tenths and a half, a little bit more than 2 tenths and a half, and it looks to be a lap good enough for provisional pole position. Let's see, as he now goes through Vale and through Club, the Space Cowboy returning in the Haas is now gonna set a 25.792, and that's good enough for provisional pole position for Alex the G. And about Alex, I was gonna say, he actually had to retire in the Singapore race. So he actually walked away from Singapore with 0 points to his name and lost the championship lead to Kartracer. And now we are seeing finally some gaps starting to form, because all the drivers were just so close throughout the entire season as of now, but now we are seeing Kyle Tracer leading with a 21-point gap from Alex in P2. Jeremy is in P3, and that's 28 points from Kyle Tracer in the lead. Felix, 67 points in P4, that's a 39-point gap from Kyle Tracer. Who else we have? Sean, who has attended all of the races, but is 56 points behind. And then we got Sully, who is only 39 points, that's 67 points behind, but he only attended 3 races and he's not even attending today. It's a shame for Sully because he was also one of the OGs in F1 Total, so it's a shame he wasn't able to turn up for today. And about constructors, we can see McLaren leading on 156 points. Haas is in P2, 140, Aston Martin in P3, 127. These 3 are the main contenders for the Constructors' Championship, while Ferrari in P4 already has a lot of points missing between themselves and Aston Martin. So that's the 3 that are gonna fight it out as the season goes on. But now every driver has set a lap, and not every driver has set a representative lap, because we can see Kyle Tracer in penultimate position, that's P15, 8 seconds off of pole position, and Gilles Valentine 31 seconds off of pole position. We might not remember Gilles Valentine as one of the fastest drivers, but we know for sure that's not his pace. Now we can see Kyle Tracer pushing through Maggots and Beckett and Schapper coming right up, and the front left is gonna suffer from a lot of overheating in this corner, and Kyle Tracer is improving by 5.5 seconds, which is still not gonna be enough. He still needs to gain more time instead of 3, as he now goes around Stowe. It actually goes back into the pits. Same goes for Gilles Valentine, who ends up spinning a little bit Berman-ish style as he tries to go into the pit lane and just ends up spinning. So anyway, we've got less than 5 minutes left into qualifying, and now we can finally focus on who's gonna claim pole position here at an historical race in the league's history. 250. You could definitely be proud of that if you end up winning this race. One of the very few 100% races we've done in this league. So definitely an achievement that some driver will look forward to have for themselves in their career. And meanwhile, Aksharik in the Sauber has retired, and I think that's in the pit lane because we can see Kuko going through Woodcut, but he has invalidated. We can go back to Antonio, who actually has invalidated, and straight goes into the pits. We've got Lars van der Linden, who's trying to push once again. So goes around Farm. That's one of the slowest corner of the entire track. And got a good traction out of it. Deploying some battery, DRS enabled through the Wellington straight, and finishing sector 1 with an improvement, a very slight improvement, that's 7 thousandths, and it goes very deep, completely missing the apex through Brooklands. That's a very suboptimal line for Lars, and he has aborted the lap as he actually does a 180, just slamming the brakes and locking the rears. And right now no one is pushing, and Lars got disqualified for going the wrong way. Lars, what are you doing? Starting from last position. And if you're a Haas fan like me, you might actually be happy seeing that right now it's a Haas 1-2, as qualifying is almost over and the 2 Haas drivers are back on track right now. So everyone is either in the pit lane or in their up lap. We've got Kyle Tracer, who's going to be the first driver to start their last run here at Silverstone. And he is still 8 seconds off of Alex's time. He still needs to set one single run that's representative of his pace. So let's see What's in store for us from Kart Racer driving the Chrome McLaren around Silverstone? Sets himself up nicely for Vale and Club, and now we start again. Another lap for Silverstone, deploying some battery on the Hamilton straight and going flat out into turn 1. Abby flat out into turn 2 and get your braking right just before the 50-meter border, and Kachisa goes very deep actually, sliding the rear and not rotating the car very nicely through farm. And let's see if he decides to find more time as the lap goes on. He actually doesn't improve at all. After sector 1, that slide was enough to not improve at all, and he has aborted the lap. And Kart Racer, if he reaches the line in time, he can still try and have another go. But now we can watch Jeremy, who is pushing a few corners behind Kart Racer. Now he's going through Cops and he goes through flat out from 8th gear, downshift into 7 mid corner. And now we are gonna see the Aston Martin driver going through Maggots and Beckett's 8th gear, downshifting into 7, flat out into Beckett and into Shopper, now 5th gear, and understeering a lot because of the overheating on the front left. And Jeremy is not improving enough to gain a place. Well, actually, he might gain a place on Kuko, but that's not gonna be enough if he wants to fight for the top places. Now he goes through Stowe and very careful on those track limits, and now downshifts into 3rd for Vale and Club. Get good traction, stays in 3rd and deploys some battery even more. And for Jeremy, it's gonna be a massive snap on the exit of Club, but he actually still claims P4 out of Kuko's hands. But Kuko might try to improve on that. If he fights 2 tenths, he can have a go. Now Kart Racer has started another lap. Jeremy has retired on track, and Kart Racer is getting a slipstream from his teammate Sean Moore, who is also pushing. Now Kart is gonna go through sector 1, improving by 2 tenths and a half almost. Now going through Luffield, and he's still chasing his teammate, who is gonna give him slipstream, that's for sure, but it's not gonna be long before he actually starts giving him dirty air. And Felix improves and claims pole position out of his teammate, who actually cannot improve, and Felix sets at 25.745, and Alex goes over the line in P2 just behind his teammate. Lightning Luke in the V-Carb wasn't able to improve. Antonio Monconen is also getting disqualified for going the wrong way, so that's the 2 V-Carb driver starting at the back. And Kart Racer in the meanwhile has invalidated, so that's gonna be an absolute disaster for the championship leader, who is gonna have to start this race in P14. Now Kuko pushing the Sauber across the line. It's gonna be still a P5, improving by only 23 thousandths, and that's the grid done for the 250th Division 1 race. Is gonna be Felix, one of the 2 most winning drivers in the league's history, tied on with Kart Racer on Championship 1. They are both on 5 championships won, and it is so much fitting that one of them will start on pole position and the other is gonna start in P14. Alex, who recently lost his championship lead, is now gonna try and gain that back, especially after Kart Racer's poor position in qualifying. Started in P2 behind his teammate. That's a greedy Haas 1-2, and Lightning Luke splits the 3 German drivers, Felix, Alex and Jeremy. He splits them apart, starting this race in P3. That's Jeremy up into P4, and Kuko, the Italian driver for the Sauber, in P5. Wes for Mercedes in P6, and Sean in P7, always in P8. Phantom Fox in P9, and the other Williams driver, Bazooka Joe, will start in P10. And outside of the top 10, we have in order Axoric, Thok, Gilles Valentine, Kart Racer, Lars and Antonio. The latter 2 getting disqualified for a very stupid reason, if you ask me, honestly. But now we are here finally for the longest race we'll have in this season, obviously. 52 laps. And the sun is shining, but it's not gonna stay like that for the entire race. We are gonna have to see when does the rain hit. And obviously this is gonna be the most crucial part of the race. Just getting that crossover stage right where you start losing grip on the slicks, and it needs you understand when it's gonna be the right lap to come into the pits and pit for inters. And maybe we will see full wets at the end. Well, I mean, I don't think we will, to be honest, but I did read something about the rain going to up to 90% after 90 minutes. That's the very end of the race. 90%, it could still be inters, but it is definitely a more difficult type of rain to endure. But I'm all up for it. I can't wait to see how this plays out. So obviously the drivers are selecting a very important strategy right now, because it's not the usual one-stop medium hard or hard medium. That's what we're always used to in every 50% race. Obviously now they're gonna have to get everything right before and after the rain. Are red flags on? Yes, they are on. They are on reduced, but they have been turned on for this season. We actually didn't have one single red flag all season long in both divisions, so that's yet to come, but yes, I can confirm they are on. So drivers still selecting the strategies, and maybe even so making some setup changes, because they're gonna have to compensate for the rain whenever it comes. So we're just gonna wait for that, and the formation lap will be underway very shortly. And I think they're being very careful, very strategic about what tires they're gonna choose right now. Could be interesting. Do they use hards on the first stint and wait when the rain comes? Well, I don't have the exact weather report, so obviously they're gonna have more clarity on what's gonna be their plan. It could be a stretch to use the hards up until the rain comes. Maybe we could see some drivers even making a pit stop in the dry phase of the race. But there we go. The formation lap has officially started. Let's see. What tire is everyone choosing? Pretty much whatever you would see at a 50% race. It's pretty balanced between mediums and hards. So that's going to be interesting. And the top 4 are going for the mediums. If they're going for the mediums, I reckon that in the first half of the race, where it's still gonna be dry, they're gonna try maybe and treat it like a 50% race, you know, just making one pit stop from medium to hards, or maybe they're gonna stretch the mediums up until the rain comes. We don't know. But everyone is now parking their car on the grid. It's a Haas at the top, 2 Haases at the top, it's a Ferrari and a V-Carb at the back. But let's watch out for them as well. For the 250th race in F1 Total's history, it's lights out, and away we go here at Silverstone. And Catchers has a beautiful start, immediately jumping Aksharik on the grid, and Felix and Alex slightly go side by side, but actually Felix maintains the lead. Alex maintains P2, and then look, actually, oh Alex, what has happened to Alex? He just straight on the wall, and Alex is immediately into the wall, and the yellow flags have been waved around the entire track, and I suspect it might be a brake failure for Alex, because it just straight lines the wall instantly after Abby. What has happened to Alex? His race immediately over after only 2 corners. I suspect it might be a brake failure for Alex, because there's really literally no other explanation for that. But the virtual safety car is out, and Alex, heartbreak for him, immediately out of the race, and now it's only one Haas that can try and secure victory here on Silverstone. I'm not seeing any message from Alex on Discord, so I still have no idea what happened to him. And that is such a difficult sight to see. But now, look at the position changes. Cat Chaser and Antonio, and Lars van der Linden as well, had a mega start, already making up positions instantly. Oh, look at this midfield. Oh, look at this. They're going almost 3 wide into Stowe. Look at this midfield battle. Everyone is going side by side. Antonio, he's having a look down the inside of Carchester, who are still going wheel to wheel. And there is some ghosting involved as well. And Carchester actually loses the places to Antonio. And Antonio goes into the gravel and almost loses the car. But now the two McLarens are going to have to go past the Ferrari. It is absolute chaos here in the midfield. And Lars already has a massive gap to Kuko up ahead, but he sends it down inside of Always. He's immediately up into P6. The VNC drivers are wasting absolutely no time making up places left and right and center. Kuko is losing the RS to West, so he's gonna be vulnerable. Lars is trying to defend from the slipstream of Always, but actually Antonio is trying to get past Always as soon as possible. He's also on the faster tire, and obviously the Dertier is slowing him down, so he cannot afford to stay behind. In the meanwhile, Felix is maintaining the lead, and Lightning Luke is trying to chase him. Antonio already has a very effective run just before Cops, and they don't even go side by side. That's Antonio up into P7. But now Catches is actually gonna go past Always as well, so now he's gonna chase Antonio. And these drivers immediately gaining so many places. And we have a confirm for Alex. That's a brake pedal failure. And it just straight lines the wall. His chance to shine at 100% race immediately down the toilet. Absolutely heartbreak. And I really feel bad for Alex. It's really a big shame for him. Nothing he could have done about that one, but I do think it's gonna stuck with him. It's gonna stick with him for a long time. It's very sad to see, unfortunately. That's what happens sometimes. Just out of your control, nothing you can do about that one. I really feel for Alex now. Now let's focus back on the racing, because Antonio and Cartracer are chasing each other. Thok immediately gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits, only on the 3rd out of 52 laps of racing. And we are immediately starting to see gaps. I mean, Kuko is losing a lot of place, and it might be down to the hard tire, but I don't think it's only because of the hard tire. Lightning Luke is chasing Felix, and I think he's gonna try and make a move with DRS immediately here. Just before Stowe, he's gonna have a run. Does he go for it? The VCAP driver is getting closer and closer, and he chooses the inside line for Stowe, and actually go wheel to wheel. Felix and Lightning Luke fighting for the lead of the race, but Felix stays ahead and defends very effectively from Lightning Luke. Jeremy is still keeping himself inside the DRS range, so is Wes. And Fantafox going for a move at the inside of the last corner. What a move that was from Fantafox, but actually bounces over the sausage curb and unsettles the car. Luckily keeps the car on track, because if he rode that even more, we could have seen a Mercedes flying into the barrier. Luckily that wasn't the case. And he gives back the position to Always, but he's actually gonna get that one back immediately with the DRS at the Wellington Straight, and some moves being made up front between Lars and Antonio. Actually, Lars and Kuko. Kuko is gonna have to defend for his life. Now Sean and Phantom are actually going sideways through Brooklands, and the McLaren of Sean stays ahead, and let's see if he has a run, even Always up ahead of him. But now Antonio, oh look at this, Antonio and Lars van der Linden squeezing each other through cups, and it goes side by side, and Lars van der Linden gets forced of the track and beyond the track limits, and Antonio going elbows out to claim P6. Now Sean goes past Always, and Panzerfaust is gonna suffer from a lot of dirty air, and he's trying to take some alternative lines to try and mitigate that effect, and he has a massive run on Always at the hangar straight. That's DRS enabled for both of them, and actually Panzerfaust doesn't have a run on Always, because look at Always, he's gonna try and get past Sean down the inside of Stowe. The Williams and the McLaren go, but actually Always right to the curb on the inside and unsettles the car slightly, but still maintains position between Sean and Phantom Fox. Oh, but actually goes wide, and there's gonna be Phantom Fox going through at Vale, and actually Club, I should say, and as Phantom Fox up into P10 and up into the points finishing positions. In the meanwhile, the midfield battle is not stopping whatsoever. Car Tracer chasing Lars, chasing Antonio, chasing Kuko, who is gonna be very vulnerable to the DRS of the Ferrari just behind him, and he has a massive run. There's nothing he can do about the overspeed, and he goes past very much before Brooklands. So now, oh, that's a massive slide from Lars for the lead and exiting left field. And he's gonna be under attack by Katja, so maybe no, he actually chooses to stay behind and do nothing about it yet. And the fight for the lead is just as it was before. Phoenix defending from Lightning Luke, about 4/10 from each other. Luke will have DRS, so will Jeremy, so will West. The top 4 giving it everything immediately on the opening lap. Just 5 out of 52 laps. And now there's gonna be Lars van der Linden defending from Car Tracer. So it looks like the race has gone a little bit calmer and a little bit quieter now. It's not really much about overtaking, now it's about chasing. Just staying close and setting yourself up nicely for a move. Caltres is absolutely hounding Lars van der Linden, and he actually gets hit very much by the dirty air. Just absolutely no grip coming out of that's farm, not as turn 4. Farm is turn 3, I think. Or maybe that's, oh, that's village. No, wait, oh, I'm getting confused. Never mind. Luke is now 4/10.5 behind Felix. Just chasing him. Only goes a little bit wide. There might have been a warning for track limits for Lightning Luke coming out of Cops, and we can check that really quickly. It actually was not. So that's a bigger gap than before. That's more than 5/10. That's not going to be enough for a run with DRS. And we have some moves at the back. That's Thok and Juice, and Thok going very beyond the track limits of Cops. And Juice Valentine just chilling in last place at the back of the pack. We also have Howboys, who's, well, he's doing his best to chase Phantom Fox, but he keeps making a lot of mistakes here and there. He went wide, missing the apex at Stowe, and he went very deep into the braking zone. He actually gets passed by his teammate Bazaka Joe now. So it looks like Always is kind of struggling here at the moment. Let's go back to the midfield, because Kat is still trying to chase Lars van der Linden, but still not finalizing anything. It's a DRS train up until Kuko, who's really not keeping up the pace on those hard tires. And that's Lars van der Linden going wide on the exit of Cops, and that might also have been a warning for him. And now this gives a Car Tracer a better chance to try and stay close. He is still suffering from a lot of dirty air, and it makes it very difficult to get past. He's deploying some battery, he has DRS, but so does Lars, so there's really nothing more he can do to get close. now he's just gonna try and save some battery and just cruise from some more corners and try a move later on. They both keep gaining and gaining, and they keep getting closer to Kuko. But still, if they don't get past in a DRS straight, it's pretty much impossible to do otherwise. There's yellow flags for Thok, who has spun, looks like at the exit of farm, that's turn 3. And catchers are now going a little bit wide over the track limits. Let's go to the lead for a second because Luke is now a little bit closer, or is he? Because he just keeps suffering from the dirty air on the exit. He just keeps staying close, about 3 tenths and a half, but then on the exit he just gets slowed down so much by the loss of downforce, by the loss of aerodynamic flow on the car, and it just keeps losing him about a tenth and a half and really not giving him the run to try and make something happen on the hangar straight. So the top 4 staying as it is. Although Wes is very close to Jeremy. Tracer keeps chasing Lars van der Linde, and he actually weaves a lot on the Wellington straight. Not sure exactly why, but he just did that. Just keep chasing and chasing. Oh, and look at just how much downforce Lars loses just try and stay behind Kuko through cops. That's really not a corner where you want to stay close because you just lose so much downforce. Is Carchester finally close enough? It doesn't look like it, but is Jeremy close enough to look? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, but now Lars van der Linde finally has the run to send it down the inside of Kuko at Stowe corner, and now that's gonna be a difficult situation for Carl Chaucer because there's gonna be traffic between himself and one of his main contenders in this race. So he needs to get past Kuko as soon as possible. He cannot lose time behind him. Yellow flags for Gis Valentine, I believe, yes. Facing the wrong way at the exit of Shuffle. He's trying to get around, that's DRS enabled and overtake deployed. And now he goes down the inside of Brooklands, and that's a very nice move from Carchester, but he has lost some crucial time to Lars van der Linde just ahead of him. That's 8 tenths between the VCARB and the McLaren, so he's gonna have to make up for it. And oh, look at this, Jeremy and West being dangerously close to each other through cups. I'm not sure if they went side by side. Don't think they did, but they were very close indeed. So now that's Felix, who has been leading every single lap up until now. And Gilles Valentine is into the pits for a new set of mediums. And in the middle I thought he gets another 3-second time penalty. What tire did Gilles Valentine have? Another medium. But yellow flags for Thok once again. Really, not his race, not his day. I think it's fun at the exit of turn 3 once again. So that's Felix just keeping the lead, maintaining the lead once again, with little to no pressure. Because even if he ends up being overtaken by Daniel Luke, he knows very well that this is pretty much an endurance race. It's still very long, and this is not gonna be where the race is won. It can be the race where it's... well, not really. Right now in the dry, it's not neither won, neither lost. It's gonna be under the rain in the last half of the race. That's where really everything is gonna make a difference. So right now it's just a passenger phase, pretty much. And Thok, once again, tracking his penalties. I'm actually very surprised that Thok is the only driver with tracking his penalties, because Silverstone can be very tricky with those white lines, especially through Maggots and Beckett's, Cops, Stowe, many corners. So really didn't expect that. But now we have a new driver chasing this top 4, and that's Antonio, who is in the slipstream. And Jesus Christ! We have a DNF at the exit of Chaper, and that's the virtual safety car being deployed by the marshals. And there we go, that's an Alpine into the barrier on the right hand side at the exit of Chaper. So we are down to 2 DNFs, Gilles Valentine and Alex Deji, and the virtual safety car is out on lap 12. Will we see any pit stops, any strategic plans maybe? I don't think we will. Felix stays out, so does Luke. Jeremy is in! That's interesting. Jeremy uses the virtual safety car for his first pit stop of the race. Lars is in as well. So is Kartracer. So is Sean. That's a double pit stop for McLaren. It might be a risk of a double stack. Let's see. Is everything clear at the McLaren garage? Yes, it is. So that's another set of hearts for Sean Moore. So he hasn't made his mandatory compound change, but he doesn't need to because the race will be wet. So they can just handle the dry stage of the race however they like. So that's interesting. Let's see. Jeremy went from the mediums to the hards. Same for Lars. Kartracer went for another set of mediums, and Sean went for another set of hards. And always gets a drive-through penalty, speeding under virtual safety car. And that's a very, very damaging penalty for Always' race. And Thok has retired as well. He hasn't crashed, he has retired in the pit lane, just really not his day today. But Antonio has made a move on Wes, and Antonio has lost the DRS from Lightning Luke. That's 1.5 seconds separating the Ferrari and the V-Carb, respectively in P3 and P2. So, other than the pit stop phase, it looks to be quite calm. Well, the biggest chase we're seeing right now is Antonio trying to get close to Lightning Luke. So we'll go on board with the Ferrari driver and volume up. Always in the meanwhile has pitted. Wait a second, is he on used tires? What? Oh, he said the drive-through penalty. I completely forgot. It looks like Antonio has caught up. He still doesn't have DRS, but he's he's there, he's up there, he's into that 1 second gap, so he's getting close, and now we can start the chase. A three-way chase to Felix. Now once again, turn up the volume for the onboard of the V-Carb with Lightning Luke chasing Felix for the lead of the race. We now switch over to this midfield battle because we did see the order change in between Jeremy and Fantafox. Jeremy has made a move, I think, around Brooklands, so that's the Aston Martin driver ahead of the Mercedes driver. Jeremy is on much fresher hards compared to Fantafox, who is now gonna be chased by Lars van der Lindemann. In the meanwhile, we are seeing an exchange in position between Antonio and Lightning Luke. So now it's the Ferrari driver who looks to have the greater pace amongst all three. Now he can chase after Felix. In the meanwhile, Fantafox will be vulnerable to Lars and Car Tracer. Lars has much fresher hards, Car Tracer has much fresher mediums, so that's the even faster tire compared to his. Now we can see Lars van der Linden making the move on Fantafox just before Cobbs. Fantafox goes a little bit wide. Now if we switch over, actually we go back to the midfield once again because Car Tracer has now overtaken Fantafox once a while, got rid of the traffic. Now he can chase after Lars on the faster tires. And if we go back to the top, it was still as before. Felix leading, being chased down by Antonio. I'm actually reading the chat. I'm being invited to have a co-commentator finally alongside me. That's gonna be Alex, who had his premature end to his race. Sure, I think I can do a party. I'll do it. Oh, you actually created one. Hello, Alex.
Hey, Gabri. Good evening to everyone at Fontatal as well.
That's a shame how your race didn't even start. It was a brake pedal failure. I had the suspect and I did get confirmed in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? You know, I'm obviously not very happy, but you said you wanted a co. I know I'm not going to be sounding particularly happy at the moment, but you got your co. It's something. I'm happy to, you know, be of service for the league.
Well, I was supposed to actually have a co-commentator tonight, but he actually dropped out, so at least you can make up for it, so thanks, I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem, mate. We can you have some company. I think it's for the best of all of us. And I get distracted.
And you're going to be distracted for a very long time because it's only lap 18 out of 52, and we are still yet to understand. Actually, since you were the driver, can you tell us more in detail the weather report?
Well, the weather report, I don't know how many weather icons it is. It's 7, I think, right? I think only the last 2 were rain, so it was
Oh,
like the sixth one was like light rain, the 7th was actually heavy rain, so I don't know, potentially we'll get some rain at the end of the race, but not 100% sure on how it's actually gonna go.
and meanwhile, we are getting a helicam of Antonio actually having a run on Felix and going down inside very much before Cops. And now Antonio, who started at the back of the grid, I think he was in penultimate place, he now inherits the lead of the race ahead of Felix.
Yeah, indeed, from 16th all the way to first. I mean, I don't know how he got there. Did he just get there through slicing through the field? I suppose so. I also heard that it's just one of his best tracks, if not his best track. So, yeah, very good effort there for Antonio. You might just have to fill me in on how people got to the positions they did, apart from the ones that are not part of the race anymore.
So
We see,
tell us about what was your planned strategy before the heartbreak at turn 2?
yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be I was thinking to start on the hard, but then I noticed, oh wait, yeah, I picked the balanced tire option, so, before I had only one hard and then wasted it and had to two-stop at a track like this with a bloody long pit lane. Yeah, it was the same strategy kind of as Felix. We were going to one stop from the medium to the hard, and yeah, then it just depended on the race situation as to who would pit first. Obviously, that question doesn't pose itself anymore. But yeah, I mean, the plan was probably just, try to run 1 and 2, defend the threats from behind, and yeah, then just see who was faster at any given time around the pit window. And yeah, just pit whichever one first. But yeah, as it looks like Luke can keep up, then there's a gap behind to Will, which, well, I am quite disappointed about, to be fair, as Will gets a penalty. Is that a commentary curse? Probably. Yeah, I see there's quite a gap behind Luke, so maybe we would have been able to, drive away top 3, top 4-ish, and just had a, fairly quiet race. But at the same time, I've seen that pit stops have been made already, so I don't know. There might be some 2 stops mixed in there.
Yeah, some drivers have made their pit stops interestingly during the virtual safety car that was brought up by Giro's crash.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense, actually, because Silverstone always has such a long pit lane, you lose like roughly 30 seconds in it, so it makes a lot of sense to, take the hit for the moment, but it's definitely a much smaller hit to do so under VSC or safety car. And yeah, as a result, good job done by them, to now make up some time, and, well, they will have to pit again later, but you never know. The safety car is never far at this place. Kart racer, fastest lap. So, yeah, those mediums going well.
And we are seeing how Felix is struggling to maintain DRS from Antonio. He's actually barely inside the 1 second gap. He still has DRS here to the Wellington straight, but he might start to drop out soon.
Indeed, yeah, but the ERS levels are looking fairly similar. I was expecting maybe that Antonio would have a bit more still in his tank, but as it looks, maybe he's trying to pull away now. Yeah, looks like it. Felix is also using some of his battery to try and keep up there. But it's going to be a tough ask, and he might soon be on his own to have to defend against Luke.
So about the top 4 who started on the medium, so what lap do you think they're going to pit?
Well, the strategy screen said roughly 23, so I would say around the ballpark of 20 to like 25-ish. I don't know how much it holds up really, because all the practice I've done was starting on the hards. Just see how long it went. Then also it happened to rain on one of the dynamic qualies that I had in GP, so I didn't really have the data. But yeah, definitely, we might be in the vicinity of some pit stops soon, let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we might see some drivers trying to pull an undercut, because there's just so much dirty air, and overtaking is not really... I mean, Silverstone is not a track where it's difficult to overtake, but it is difficult just because of the dirty air, because you just don't get a run on the DRS rates.
Yeah, like, you can't follow that well, that's the issue. Like, the overtaking spots themselves, they do offer themselves. You have a lot of lines that you can take through quite a few of the corners, even through the loop here, as we can see. Some drivers maybe taking more of a U-shaped line, to keep the minimum speed up. Others taking more of a V-shaped late apex. and you know, power out of the corner to try and have a go. Felix actually looks like he has made it solidly back into DRS now, but yeah, we'll still be struggling to keep up, I reckon. Antonio, very quick driver, obviously, for the VNT PC team, so obviously he's not exactly going to be slow. But Luke behind that, keeping up. Very impressive, I must say. I mean, I know that he's no slouch, but also he's not like an elite level driver. I do know that.
I think Felix might have made a mistake because he's now 1.1 behind. And he
Ooh,
might
yeah.
not have... Oh yeah, he doesn't have a DRS right now. He might be under threat by Luke.
Yeah, it'll require a big push to get back in there, but it looks like it could be curtains here as Antonio is now... Yeah, he's using his battery, isn't he? He's now pulled away a bit. 1.2 seconds. Yeah, that'll be tough for Felix to get back into. Maybe through an undercut as the pit stops. Yeah, like I said, they might be happening soon. Yep,
And
there we
Felix
are.
is in.
Felix is in the pit. Yep.
That's gonna be the
Now don't
undercut
speed.
strategy.
He's not speeding. Good on him. And it is indeed an undercut. So yeah, lap 21. First one to blink in the top few.
I think it's not gonna be a long time before we see anyone else in the pit lane as well, because now they're gonna react to Felix. Maybe Antonio himself and even Luke himself, they will react to this undercut. And he's going on these softs.
He's on the soft? Can that be correct? I'm not all too sure. I don't think that was the strat talk that we had before the race. Well, that is... I'm not all too sure if that's actually what he wanted to do. I mean, they won't cover him to the end, that's for sure.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that, like, the sky is becoming a little bit overcast, but that's ever so slightly. But
possible. I mean, it could be a sprint to the rain. You never know. The setting, you know, the weather setting is set to approximate. So, for all I know, the rain might be 5 minutes out, and he's just going for a sprint.
yeah, exactly.
Stint now, if you will.
We don't know the what the engineers are telling them.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, like I said, we had 7 rain icons, and the 6th was rain.
It might actually
No idea.
make sense to why some drivers pitted earlier in the VSC and are pushing the hards right now. They are pushing to the end and waiting until the rain comes. Like, it might be a premature rain for all we know.
Very possible, actually. Let's see now what Antonio does. Antonio stays out. What about Luke? See now that Felix is gone, Luke is also just unable to hold the pace of Antonio. He was kind of being the lifeline there, you know, holding him in that DRS range, but now 2.5 seconds behind. Will is now 2 seconds behind. Let's see if he can catch. But he does have that 3-second penalty hanging over him. Then it's Kart Racer on that fairly fresh medium, who just got past Kuko on the last lap. And is looking to pull away and, well, get into this top fight himself after a poor quali.
I did see some crazy moves and crazy moments happening around Vale and Club. Like Phantom Fox almost went... No, he actually did went for the inside on Club and just bounced off the curb and almost lost it.
Jeremy just... Wow, Jeremy just pulled one to the outside there of Village, and now it's to the inside of Aintree for last. So Kuko's lost 2 places there in the space of 2 corners, down to P7, matching his number in the PSN he's got. Yeah, now I've got Kart Racer 4, Jeremy 5, however, out of DRS range of Kart Racer, and then Lars right behind, who's also started towards the back of the field. He did tell me he didn't want to do quali, so that's kind of why we got here. But yeah, now Jeremy's going to have to push a bit to get back into that range. It looks like he is doing that.
And meanwhile, Felix on the absolutely freshest softs you could ever ask for against the absolutely oldest hards you could ever ask for from Phantom Fox. He's going down the inside of Cops and he doesn't really have a choice because he needs to get past. Yeah. There we go. Just so much difference in speed and grip. Nothing he could have done.
Yeah, he had to yield there at Phantom Fox, definitely. So Felix through to 8th. Now he's got almost 12 seconds of clear air in front of him. So a lot of time for him to just, you know, push, get on with it, and see where it lands him.
So Alex, let's go a little bit off topic because I didn't see the Singapore race last week and he actually had 0 points out of it. What happened?
Yeah, tough to say. I mean, another front row start, this time behind Kart Racer. Yeah, quali went alright. Then there was a crash on the first lap. Ironically, it was Harley as Felix. Oh, that's not an ideal way to go through Vale. Yeah, Harley crashed out early on, caused a virtual safety car. Then there was, you know, towards the end of it, it was such confusion. Kart Racer almost had a drive-through penalty himself. He just avoided it. Guess what? I didn't. So I got a drive-through penalty. Had to serve it immediately on the first lap. Then I went out and pushed out of my mind, and at lap 10, I fell victim of the Anderson Bridge corner. So, yeah, that's how my wheel fell off and how my race finished. So yeah, 2 DNFs in a row. Absolutely lovely.
And it's also you losing the championship lead to Kart Racer. You had such a big run in the earlier races. Now it's getting tougher after these
Yep.
results.
Yeah, the pain for it is that I went relatively well around Singapore, but I was very, very hopeful actually for Silverstone because it's one of my better tracks, maybe one of my best tracks even. And yeah, I mean, you saw in quali that .7 middle run came out of nowhere. I've done nothing better than a high .9 before that. Phoenix is 8 tenths up on his fastest lap. Bloody hell! So yeah, that's expect the fastest lap here. And yeah, then that happens. I've lasted a whole 2 corners out of I don't know how many. Yeah, and I need to look into why my brake is not braking.
Did you figure it out?
Not yet. I'm honestly, I'm not bothered yet. I will do maybe tomorrow. There we go. 29 flat. Phoenix 1 is now setting the timing sheets alight. It is getting quite overcast, he did say. So, yeah, let's see when that rain is going to come in.
The clouds are creeping in.
Indeed, yeah. And look at the gap there between Luke and Will. That's coming down ever so slightly, while Luke himself can't really keep up with Antonio in the lead. But I don't know how well those mediums are gonna be holding on yet. Yeah, they don't look amazing, that's for sure. Then again, like the pit window was roughly this time, maybe a couple laps early. So yeah, let's see about the strategies here.
The interesting thing is that they're still staying out, but seeing that Felix pitted for the softs and the sky is getting indeed overcast, could it be that maybe they are trying to get a tire advantage on Felix by pitting on softs later?
I mean, possible, yeah. I'm not too sure about the delta between 1 and 2 stop because overall I still feel the 1 stop was probably better due to the fact that look at the pit lane. But maybe because of the fact, you know, it's double the race length to usually, there's more time to make that time loss up again. So yeah, completely possible that, you know, Antonio, Luke, Will, those like Kart Racer, in fact, who's also arrived in Will's DRS now, are just going to try to get that advantage on Felix, get the jump on him a bit as he's still storming through, as you can see. His lap times are still very, very quick. He's now 6.6 behind Coco. As he said, 30.3. Probably the fastest man on track. Yeah, every lap, you're going to feel it for sure. Especially around a track like Silverstone that's going to be so heavy on the fronts, especially with those sweeping fast corners. But also some of the traction zones. There we go. Kart Racer has made the move against Will.
Or he actually almost went back for it ever so slightly, but 13, no, that's 12 laps difference. Really nothing you could have done about that one. Now, we're halfway through the race. That's 26 out of 52. If it was a normal race, it would have been over by now. It would have been a completely
we would be questioning why
dry
Felix is in the pits.
race.
Correct. You know, you would be questioning why Felix has been in the pit lane at this point, as he's now down in P8. But, Kart Racer!
And that's a big one.
Okay. So we have our first victim past Will, of course, to hit 3 seconds. It is none other than Kart Racer, the championship leader himself. Okay, well, that might throw a spanner in the works.
It definitely can, because if he finds himself up fighting for those top places, maybe even if he uses the wet weather to his advantage so much that maybe he can build a gap or whatever, that penalty is gonna come back to him.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It is Kart Racer, though. I expect anything, like, between feeling bad at Qatar and fighting for the victory versus, you know, just absolutely pulling one out of the bag, especially when it rains. I mean, I've seen him on the kart track when it rained. Bloody hell, the guy is quick. So, yeah, he can do anything, really. And even with the competition, like, for example, Antonio there in the lead, Lars as well, who, by the way, he's gapped by 4 seconds. Yeah. Kart Racer is able to do basically anything here. And, well, he's the championship leader for a reason.
So, Antonio, Luke, and... well, actually, I'm seeing Wes on my leaderboard. Are you seeing a different name for, like, what was it, Will?
I'm not too sure, actually, why it says that for you. Because for me, it quite normally says VNT Willu2101. And
it does not for me.
He's raced under NLR _Willow2101 earlier, so that's why I recognized him earlier, obviously. But also, I don't think you were around when he first raced, so that also, you know, helps me in my case there. So it's Will on my screen, but, you know, you could say anything, really. So here we go, Kart Racer. Is he already going to make a move on Luke to the outside of Stowe? Looks like he can get it done. Yes, indeed. Kart Racer up into second. And now with like half the age on the tires, basically. 12 laps fresher. He can now go after Antonio himself.
I think he's definitely happy about having made that pit under the VSC, because just look at how much he's helping him right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, really. And I mean, we all know the pace of Kart Racer. There's a reason he's the only repeat winner so far. Can he make it 3 now? That's the real question. But hey, we've got 25 laps to find that out. But he's definitely making some inroads here on Antonio. Already down to 2.9 seconds, actually.
So the top 4, apart from Kart Racer, are opting to have at least a 6-lap tire advantage on Felix. At least.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we don't get these strategies ever in a 50% race. This is exactly the type of strategy we see in the normal races. Even if you get undercut so much, you just pit so much later because you have such a big advantage. And that's really what makes it unique at having so many laps. There's so many different approaches you can try, and that's what I love.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Yeah, and especially of course when the pit lane isn't exactly, you know, as long as Silverstone is. I'm looking at tracks like Zandvoort here, or I'm not sure. Monza's probably also one of these, even though that quite heavily relies on the DRS train. I am also seeing Felix's lap time still pretty stable, so you know there's no immediate drop off from the softs coming yet, as he's still making inroads into the gap to Kuko in front, which is now to roughly 2 seconds. Well, so that soft tire is still holding on pretty well. 30, definitely 130s for him, as Kart Racer has also done one recently, but, you know, that was helped by DRS. Speaking of Kart Racer, that was a bit of a slide out of the last corner. Still, 1.6 seconds. He's almost at the back of the Ferrari.
And now we're just here left wondering, when is the rain gonna hit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's certainly most probably not going to hit at the time that it was projected to me, because, like I said, 7 weather icons, and it was supposed to hit at the 6th one, which tells me roughly lap 40-ish. Well, it's lap 30 almost, and it's almost here. It looks like it's British weather after all.
We can actually go back to a percentage that Felix said in the chat. It was 71% after 60 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't check what it was for 90, considering you never know how long a race of this, you know, amount of laps actually goes on for. But yeah, 71% is correct. I've also seen that stat. But still, I mean, 60 minutes, still fairly late into the race.
But we are close to 60 minutes.
Oh, true, to be fair. We'll be at roughly, what, if we go by the race leader here, let's say 130 times 30. I can't do that in my head. Anyways, Kart Racer's arrived in the DRS.
I'm just looking at the clock thinking, when did qualifying end, and just getting a rough estimate.
Yeah, we're currently roughly 45 minutes in. Maybe closer to 50.
Oh, there's rain!
But... Oh, there it is! Just after halfway, you see. Okay.
So it's definitely a lot earlier than the drivers thought, and earlier than we thought. And that makes it a lot more interesting right now.
We're going to have almost half the race affected by rain. By the way, the first raindrops we've seen in Division 1 all season.
And
which
don't
I'm sure
get
you
me
love to
started
hear
about
as a Division 2 driver.
Don't get me started about that one. It's honestly a joke.
I'll just drop it in here. So after all, maybe it was good that I retired, because I have got 0 experience in wet racing in this game. I would have liked to get some, but you know, Kart Racer's now going for the lead against Antonio.
Wow, Jeremy, that was so close to hitting Luke. As he makes a move on Wheel, who actually has a very big slide out of left field.
Oh, look at Lars behind as well.
Wow.
Yep, Lars has also made the move on
Will
now.
Look at Kart Racer! Oh my god, look at Kart Racer chasing Antonio! He just rear drafted him through cops.
Is he gonna do that again? He definitely has got the grip
Look
to
at him.
bloody hell, Kart Racer! Well, someone's got a tyre advantage here. I'm not surprised. 29 laps on mediums, that is a lot of laps. Now Kart Racer has to make the move. Heavy weaving going on there from Antonio, but I think he will be powerless to defend. Or will he? Kart Racer to the outside of the Ferrari. Oh, there's some contact. They're both off the road, aren't they? Very close stuff.
And Antonio's pitting. Is he pitting for Inters already? No, that's
oh,
the
there's
thing.
2 more.
Oh!
Yep, Luke and Jeremy also in. Sorry, that's... No, it is Luke. It is Luke. I thought it was
Now,
last.
that's a thing that happened in Div 2. The rain was so light that having the inters was actually very suboptimal because they would overheat so much. And there was
Antonio
nothing
is
you could have
indeed
done
on the
about that
Inter. Look. Okay. Antonio on the Inter. Jeremy on the Inter.
Could it be too early? Unless it's gonna increase significantly instantly.
I mean, my only practice race did have a very quick rain, increase, let's say. How much will Felix gain out of that? That's the thing. He's now done 9 laps on soft. There's Antonio coming out of the pit lane. That is definitely not 25 seconds. Like, I can see that. Yeah, he's got around 12, 13 seconds-ish. So the sprint stint, if he intended it for it to be one, has certainly not paid dividends as much as he maybe would have wanted. But I still doubt that he actually wanted to try this. Then again, look how early the rains arrived. Maybe he did. It's so tough to call.
We might have to watch the tire temperature from the driver's steering wheel from the onboard, because in Division 2 it was so light and they would overheat so much. I could go over 100 degrees on the inters.
Oh my word, okay.
Like they were orange all the way through when I was driving. There was absolutely nothing I could have done to manage that.
Driving on bricks, I see. Let's see, Kart Racer then. He's used up all his battery now to try and gain as much lap time as he could. 18 laps on those mediums. He is immediately pitting. DRS disabled. That might be perfect timing.
What bothers me is that Division 2 had so much rain and DRS was enabled all the way through.
Oh, last didn't speed either. That's Will pitting. Felix obviously also in. So as it turns out, maybe not all too bad for Felix there. Kuko might have a good jump there. Kart Racer, obviously everyone to the Inter now. Now let's see where all of these guys feed out. That's Antonio now entering Vale. Phantom Fox 3 seconds. I believe that's the third driver to fall foul of track limits. Let's see, everyone on the Inter, provided there are no errors going on. There's the Haas pit box. Yep, intermediates. Kuko into the Sauber pit box. Still sounds funny. Intermediate tires for him as well. Kart Racer. Oh, he's just behind Antonio here, but he's alongside. Look at him. Oh no!
They make contact through farm. Look at that. But Antonio stays ahead, and now Kart Racer is gonna have to make an overtake the old-fashioned way. DRS has been disabled, so it's all about pace and all about managing wear and temperature, which is gonna be crucial.
It's about drive, it's about power. Hey, look at those two RBs there. Lars has had a jump on both Luke and Jeremy, so Lars from the back all the way up to P3. Very good stuff there. The 1 lap longer actually did pay off in the end. So we now have 2 VNT drivers on the podium, split by who else? Of course, Kart Racer.
Well, unless the penalty comes back to bite him.
Oh, we'll see about that one. Antonio, I'm sure, will be surprised about the pace of the man who has constructed the Moais himself.
And Lars van der Liden, 3-second time penalty for another one of the protagonists in this race.
Well, I mean, he certainly made an interesting affair of this race, having started from the back, but, well, track limits have come back to bite him as well. Wow, there's going to be a few more, I'm sure. I mean, there's 20 laps to go as we finish this one. Sean falls foul of the track limits now as well, so that's 5 drivers then.
And the rain hit the track so quickly. We can already see so many droplets bouncing on the tarmac.
Crazy, yep. And you see there, Felix from pole. With that sprint stint, he's definitely not done himself any favors, really. Now down to P7, it doesn't look like he can get another race victory here.
If he had the same strategy as the top 4 or something, I believe, just bringing the mediums to the end, it was very painful, especially for Will. He did have 30 laps on those mediums, but eventually that should have been the call to make, because now he's 6 seconds behind Will.
Exactly, he's still behind Will after all that, even though he's made up so much time. There's Gilles Valentine finally leaving the session.
I mean, he was
very
watching the show.
late. Yeah, most probably in a party with Kart Racer or something, I would imagine. Kart Racer and Jeremy, they're usually in a party, so I'd expect that to be the case. Yeah, top 2 then, probably in the league of their own, unless Lars pulls something out of the bag here. Luke staying with Lars. Podium debut, possible. Never know.
Well, it is a debut in Division 1. Or is it actually? Because I did see him race in the esports division back then. But I don't think...
Esports division?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think...
I have to check that.
We commentated that together.
Was it that? Really? Okay, well,
yeah,
I don't...
it was like at the end of F1 24.
So like Max Foch, basically, I don't know my fruits. I actually have no idea who I commentated on then. Okay.
But I do feel like Lars did have another Division 1 race, but like
No,
a long
Last
time ago.
definitely didn't. Last definitely didn't. I'm very sure of that.
I don't know.
Well, I could go and check the stats sheet, but I actually don't have my laptop here right now. So a bit difficult. On my phone, it just won't load. It's not even that it won't get displayed, no, it just doesn't load properly. You know what I find interesting? Felix is losing time to Will. Like, not much,
6.9
but he
now.
is losing time. It's just jumped over 7 seconds for, you know, a split second there, but that is interesting. I guess it could be setup related, to be fair. Never know what these guys actually set their car up for. Looks like the top two. Oh, Lars has had an error in there, I feel like. There's been a couple tenths lost there through the loop. Not been. Oh, my word, yeah. Bit of a slide going on there. Lars is definitely not dialed in that much.
And we can see the first, we can see spray now coming out of the cars.
Indeed, yep. At least they can still see, which is certainly not the case if you were to drive under these conditions in real life. Yeah, well, that's the thing of the car concept. Let's hope 2026 improves that ever so slightly, and actually makes full wet tires useful again.
I don't think that really depends on the cars, does it?
It does. Like in this particular generation, it actually does. I mean, like obviously the best explanation I've heard was by Aiden Millward, of course, because he's a G. He's an absolute G. And is there any move going on actually before I start to say anything? No, Jeremy.
Oh, look at that!
Coco gets a pen. Jeremy though.
He's looking at it. He's looking at it. I switched to inside maybe. No, he's just trying to pressure him, and it might have worked because Luke has slightly gone offline to try and brake for that corner. So he's just trying to play mind games.
Behind. Wow, Will is pushing his absolute mind out of here. See if he can maybe make something work on Jeremy. Will has got some good pace here. Might allow Felix to catch up as well, after all. I mean, the man is currently down in P7. I don't know what he feels about this one. Oh, off the road as well for the Haas. Yeah, tough times here, but this pack of four is going to be really heating up and really interesting throughout this race. Lars is still sliding about like crazy. But yeah, now everyone's pushing to the max, just trying to make any move because, well, no DRS, that dirty air, that's going to be tough. Oh, Phantom Fox.
Oh, he's in. He's disconnected.
Wait. I've got to keep the stream running.
And that's another one of the Phantom Fox bad luck. He's had so many disconnects so often lately.
If only I actually saw
Yellow
him on my
flags
fingers.
for Sean, who looks like he has lost it coming out of village. Maybe. Oh, look at that! Complete off track.
Showing offline. I hope that still worked as an invite, but yeah, I did send him one.
There we go.
Oh, he's back. Cool. Okay, so Lars pulling an ever so slight gap here on his teammate for today. Funny, 2 reserves. I mean, will RB ever have points through a main driver? I have no clue. Yeah, well, back to this. Will actually closer to Jeremy. Jeremy, a slide. Closer to Jeremy than Jeremy is to Luke. It's maybe a bit of an error there by the man in the Aston Martin. Guard Racer also losing a bit of time now on Antonio. It looks like it might be over.
Well, it's never over until it's over, they say.
In order to finish first you have to finish. You know who said that?
Mikael.
Yes. Correct. Yep. It's never been more true than when in 2001 Mika Hakkinen in Spain had what is clutch? I think it's clutch go on the final lap. It ain't over till it's over. And oh, look at that. Will, he's trying something. Jeremy is a bit of a slide, not very assured of his driving at the moment. I feel like Will might actually. Oh,
whoa! They made contact on the inside of left field. Will is trying to look for any sort of power. Look at that! They keep locking wheels, and there's yellow flags from a Sauber. That's actually that's about to be lapped.
Yep. Oh, look at that! They're still side by side here.
Still at it.
Jeremy completely off.
Oh, look at this!
Of course he rejoins in front.
elbows out completely from both of them. They're not trying to respect each other at all. They're just
Oh,
fighting so much for the place, and will once again almost rear-ending Jeremy. And then they lost a lot of time from Luke ahead. That's 1 second from the Aston Martin and the V-Carb.
I feel like Will definitely wants a slice of that Singapore cake that he lost through Jeremy. So yeah, I feel like Will might have a bit of stick maybe for Jeremy. Let's put it that way. Oh, big slide there into Vale. But yeah, he felt like he was unfairly treated. Jeremy was penalised, but it didn't matter in the end. And let me tell you this, Will has most definitely got a setup that's much more, towards the wet conditions. Because, I mean, have you seen how close he was able to follow there in that middle sector? He's so much quicker in the corners.
Makes sense. If they predicted that the second half of the race was gonna be completely wet, just increase wings. That's it.
Yep. I wish DRS was a thing, because Kart Racer would actually be back in range now. I don't know what's gone on there, but currently, under a second.
Trust me, you don't wish DRS was a thing, because it was so painful in Division 2, it just made no sense. Like, you could see the raindrops falling on the screen and the slicks will still be faster.
Oh dear, yeah, okay.
Absolute nonsense.
Crazy. Look at that, Jeremy's actually fallen away slightly now. I mean, he's not been able to close back in to Luke, if you will, after that battle with Will, but Will is still a lot quicker. I mean, carrying so much speed through the corners, even through the dirty air, which is being kicked up alongside the water. Thanks to Aiden Millward for that explanation. Of course, the Venturi tunnels will collect water as well, alongside air, so that's why they're being kicked up. Look at that, the speed he's carrying through Chapel there. But now he's going to feel that all the way down the straight, as he's probably going to be unable to gain. Yep.
Yeah, you can just see just how much, all of the time Will gains in the corners, he just loses them in the straight. Jeremy's definitely on much lower wings.
Yep. Yeah, I've had such a situation as well. It was quite hilarious, actually. In PSGL back in the day, Kart Racer and I, it's the final round of the season in the Alfa Romeo, we deployed the wet setups, the wettest setups ever, basically. Like, we were running 30 wings higher than usual. And, well, we completely ran away with it after I eventually got past someone who had a dry setup. I was so much faster in the corners, but yeah, he just completely drove away on the straight. Then I had to capitalize on one single error that he made. I drove around the outside of Luffield, and that was that. So Kart Racer won the race, I finished second. Yeah, it was a nice end to the season then, but it was so tough. At least it's not that extreme in this race, because I was driving circles around these people in the corners, but then lose everything on the straight.
And about Kart Racer, he's gaining some significant time to Antonio. He's sliding left and right, but he is gaining.
Oh yeah.
Could it be that Antonio is managing a little bit more?
It could be. I mean, we can't really see much difference, but there is one lap difference in the tires, to be fair. I'm not too sure how much difference it will actually make, as we move through this race. But Kart Racer does seem to have some pace still in him. Definitely. Unsurprisingly, it is Kart Racer. And the ERS to show for it as well, although a good amount less, but, it is wet, so he should be able to recover that fairly easily. He's only 4 tenths behind. Wow, he's really pushing him now. Maybe he was just holding back all this time.
And the question is, how much are the Inters wearing out?
They are not wearing out, I discovered. You can carry them to the end, definitely. I mean, I've done, I don't know when it started raining, but I drove from, I believe, lap 20-ish to lap 32 in one of my GP mode races, and I had about, I believe, 15%. So yeah, they will go to the end, I would think.
This just makes me even madder about Division 2. I don't even want to think about it.
How much wear is there in 50 then? Is it actually scaled up that much?
But to be honest, it wasn't the fact that it was 50%. It was more the fact that they were overheating. But even so, even in normal Inters condition, they just wear so much.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to give a percentage. I don't know about Silverstone, and it differs from every track. But I can say that at some tracks they were as much as the slicks, and the slicks just pretty much wear out so much in every track.
Wow, that's crazy. Look at Will now on the back of Jeremy again. He's just losing that time on the corner exit. He just doesn't have the purchase, from the wheels, but he is close. I feel like if there is any error from Jeremy, Will is moving past. He is pouncing on that.
Well, there was some sort of error from Jeremy, and look at how that turned out. They were making contact for half a lap.
Well, I mean, that's just the consequence of racing with Jeremy, really. I feel like James Hunt saying that, but yeah.
some
You know
drivers
the kind of comment James Hunt makes, but yeah.
Some drivers will indeed say Will got Jeremied.
Correct, yes. Because that's what happens sometimes. I'm actually lucky enough, I've been in F1 to title for almost 5 years and it's actually never happened to me, or at least I can't remember it happening to me. And if it did, I kind of did it to myself by ending up behind. Yellow flag, sector
Sean.
2. Sean, yeah. Another spin
who's
there. He's not having a great time.
field.
He's not having a great time with things, but I feel like looking at the laps...
Oh,
whoa, okay. For the fans, I see. They've turned up in this poor weather, in this British weather, so he might as well put on a show. He's in 10th, he's 30 seconds off Phantom Fox, he's 15 or 18 ahead of Bazooka, might as well. That's a Williams jumping out of the way, so that is always getting lapped. So yep, the top two now moving past the Williams.
He might just give up pizza to Bazooka if he keeps it up.
Oh, Willie. Oh well, we shall see. It's actually not far.
No, he's
not
driving
all that
somewhat.
far from
Oh,
getting
never mind.
he's not all that far from getting lapped. It's only half a lap to Antonio. Well, let's see then. Kart Racer still got some pace in him. Maybe backed off a little to recharge the battery. Never mind, looking at the battery. Antonio's still got far more of it. Kart Racer's pushing, my word.
And the gaps keep being there. They don't really increase, they don't really decrease. They just keep being up there pretty much. It's still 4 tenths between Jeremy and Luke and Will and Jeremy. And about 8 tenths from Kart and Antonio.
Oh, Jeremy maybe looking for a move into Stone? No, he was using a good amount of battery then. Maybe close up to the back of that V-carb. Another pen for Coco, which puts the tally up to 6, I believe. No move being able to be made there by Will. Jeremy getting much more of that apex curb, so maybe looking for a better exit into turn 1 and actually onto the Hamilton straight, as everyone tends to forget. 1 minute 40.1.
It was a better exit
seconds.
on paper, like following that line, but it just didn't really pay off that much.
Oh, he might go for one. He might go for one here.
Look at
yes,
it!
Jeremy to the inside. Oh my
so
word!
So late on the
what
brakes
a
from
move.
Jeremy.
And look at that. There's Will now, maybe able to jump on that as well. Going for the switchback as Will is in the Mercedes. Yeah, Jeremy's through, but I mean, look at the guy. This is crazy. I am not going to hold back in saying that. Like, what is that overtake? I'm sorry.
I think both Luke and Will definitely not let him run away with that so easily. As soon as they get past him, they'll just do whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it is supposedly, I guess, also a good trait of Jeremy to, be able to make a move like this, to move through the field in some way and maybe drive out to have some better pace. But at the same time, I mean, look at the move he's making, and then, try to make sense of it. That's 2 cars going off the road there.
It's a wider racing line.
If it's great, it's okay. I think NASCAR teaches us that. Look at that. Will, again, look at how much faster he is through the corners here in the middle sector. Now into the final sector as he's following the V-carb of Luke. Then on the straight, it does just fall down. Felix, 3 seconds. That's another one to add to the list.
Well,
as he just doesn't seem to move from that position he's in.
He was already driving on his own pretty much with the strategy. Not really a lot he can do to try and recover. He's still gaining, but very slowly.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a very, very... How do I say this? It's a very solitary affair of things. He's just very quiet, not able to make anything work, really. Shame to see, but I mean, it's one of those days, really. He's just getting bored out of his mind. I know he's in a party with Lars, at least, who's also kind of on his own. Although Jeremy is catching, to be fair.
And so is Kart Racer somewhat. Now it's 5 tenths.
He's just chilling. Waiting for an error. It's a bit wide for Antonio, but I suppose that's just for a better exit. Yeah, looks like it. The ERS amounts, they're still fairly different. Kart Racer has about half his battery, while Antonio is on 85-ish%. I don't put the telemetry on, I can't be bothered. I'm just estimating of what I see on the wheel. Bit of a slide there for Antonio. Let's have a look then.
Or maybe let's have a look at Will
Wow.
being less than 2 tenths behind Luke. And if he carries so much speed through Maggots and Beckett, he's definitely gonna have a run. Wow, look at that!
Look how much is he taking out of these curves? Bloody hell, Will, I was not familiar with your game. Let's have a look then on the exit. That curve can catch you out sometimes. I think it caught him out ever so slightly. Not as badly as me, though, as I figured in practice. I think my right height was a bit low as well. It was rather on the lower side, but yeah, he's unable to make anything work there into Stowe. Kart race again, keeping close. 6 tenths as we have 10 laps to go of this British Grand Prix.
10 laps to the end, and we can see the rain very slowly, but still increasing. We can definitely see some more raindrops. We can clearly see a dry line forming compared to the rest of the track. And if you said that they're gonna bring out the inters to the end, and we know for a fact that the rain is gonna increase up to heavy rain, they're gonna have a hard time. I mean, they're not gonna pit for full wets, but they're gonna have to bring some very old inters through treacherous conditions. And I've been there. It's definitely not a walk in the park.
Although I must say it is quite funny for me because I've never really driven much rain on this game before, and then I had obviously a partly wet stint in my practice race, which was very necessary. And funnily enough, as the AI pitted for full wets, kart racer off the road there. AI pitted for the full wets, the rain was actually, it was full wet. Funnily enough, it got easier to drive for me, and I pulled away. So I'm not all too sure if this is to do with Silverstone or if the conditions were actually just not full wet at that point. For some reason, it felt very easy. It somehow felt easier to drive than in, the inter conditions. Maybe it was me just not being used to rain, something clicking. Not sure. It is interesting. It's still an interesting dynamic. Look at Will, maybe having a go. No, that looked closer from the faraway shot. Oh well.
I mean, Will has to overtake in a corner. He's only losing on a straight. Really nothing he can do.
Yeah, he has to wait either for an error or just surprise Luke. And I don't think either one's looking very likely looking at the race trajectories. I mean, Luke hasn't even got a penalty yet, which can't be said about many drivers in this race.
Yeah, that's a total of 24 seconds of penalties ahead of all drivers, and Kuko is the only one with more than 3.
Yep. It is, well, it is what it is, really. I mean, for someone like Felix who's been on his own for, almost the entire race past his pit stops, I can kind of see it just being loss of focus. Because, you're just so close to zoning out in such a long race, especially, that you just end up, I've dipped the wheel off the road. Here's another, dipping a wheel off the road. Oh, that's a penalty. It happens so quickly. Well, obviously I didn't get to that stage. I never got a warning even. I just, crashed. Equipment failure. Lovely. Can I just paint this on the wall, by the way? What if I'd straight line Felix by accident? Gritty Haas front row turning into a Gritty Haas implosion. Just saying. There you go, there's another 3-second penalty. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to put fuel to the fire. I have to solve this brake problem. The thing is, it's probably going to be fine for the next race as well. It bothers me now, but yeah, don't know.
You know the meme when they put out the double Haas DNF at Monaco 24?
Oh dear, yeah. What has happened? We need to know. Well, meanwhile, look at Lars here. Lars has got 3 seconds, yes, but he is now currently almost out of the penalty range of Luke, so Luke wouldn't, be gaining from that anymore. Jeremy is currently looking for a podium, meaning he would jump ahead of me. Yay. So I should be, third in the standings after 2 non-scores. Peak activities. Felix still behind me, though. That is hilarious, I can't lie. Yeah, so look then. Will Jeremy even bother to make the overtake? That's the question. I mean, he's got 7 to go. He doesn't look like he's going to drop out of the range of Lars, who most clearly seems to be on a dry setup. It's 10 seconds off the top 2. Yeah, I feel like he's probably on a dry setup then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can just see... We could see it easily if he had a wet setup. He would just carry so much more speed through corners, and he just doesn't.
True. That's what we're seeing with Will. Yeah, exactly. He's definitely more focused on that cornering ability, but Looks like it's hurting him down the straight. Just see here, I mean, look at that. Just through cops alone, he's been able to gain around a tenth of a second. Now I think Lucas pulled more battery. Another one bites the dust there. Bazooka picks up 3 seconds.
And that's 5 drivers with no penalties.
Well, 8 if you count the DNFs.
We don't.
Well, I never got to a corner that, you know, actually gives you warnings, so I guess we won't count me.
Man, we don't know how much you would have performed in 52 laps. We don't know if you wouldn't have got a penalty, so just not fair to
I
judge.
never get penalties. I haven't had one in Total yet. So just not done 11 laps, if you will. But oh well.
You know what?
It
I'm just gonna use this chance. Shout out to you, Action Rick, because the man is just driving on his own for 46 laps straight, and he didn't even get a penalty, didn't cause any trouble, just vibing on his own every single race.
Let me check. Has he got a warning? The legend. Oh, he does. He has one. He is. Oh, he's driving on 2 warnings.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. Action Rick here, down in last. Is he a lap? He's a lap down, isn't he?
Yeah.
Gap to leader. Yeah, he's a. Well, it says he's 133 down. I don't believe that.
No, I mean,
he's 130.
I did see him getting lapped on track, so I know
That looks interesting. If you change to gap to leader, Sean is currently 1 minute 18 behind. Then is Bazooka 131 behind. OY is 139 behind, and then Action Rick is 133 behind. So what do we believe? It needs to count from, you know, the next guy ahead, if you will, and that's certainly not worked. Oh well, put it back to interval. That's made it that a bit easier.
Could you check if Jeremy got a warning just now? Because I did see him with a very sketchy line through Maggots and Beckets.
He's out on lap 3. He's actually not got one, no.
On lap 46, no warnings?
Nothing.
Wow.
Would have said, you know, I'm just scrolling through the individual one. It might say that he has a collision warning or something, but no, he's only had one track limits warning. That was lap 3.
Oh,
there we go. Always
another soldier lost.
Only 5 to go as well, 6 to go as well. So 4 drivers left now without a penalty.
Oh, Jeremy, look at that! What line did he just take?
Okay. Ooh. Not closing though, is he? I don't think he's really bothered about trying to make an overtake here, but well,
I mean,
he's certainly still putting on a show.
He just took your same line after Abby, just without straight line in the wall.
Through Abby. Well, Abby is flat. So what's he done then?
He just completely went into the runoff. Just didn't make Abby at all. Just.
Well, I didn't crash there though.
He went off and rejoined just before farm.
Well, I crashed in farm though.
But yeah.
We're now having to talk about technicalities for my crash. Bloody hell. Just leave it already. Okay, no. I mean, what can we do? I mean, yeah. It's happened now. Look at them. They're going off the racing line. Are they cooling the tyres? This tyre temp's actually so much of an issue here.
It is. It definitely is.
Even on the Inter. Even on full pressures. Crazy. Okay. Well, I didn't expect that.
I mean, just on the slicks, normally your front left just dies, especially through Chapel.
Okay. Okay, to be fair, yeah, that does make sense. Yeah. Chapel, I always feel like the tyre just dies, just gives up.
I mean,
You know,
even
the
in
Gasly
qualifying,
give up.
I have difficulties through that corner because it just overheats so much.
Yeah, I wonder what you had to say about the gritty Haas front row, actually. I'll happily watch that back. It's the one moment of success, if you will. Like I said, my lap time genuinely came out of the blue. I have no clue where that came from. As oh, look at Will.
You don't?
Surprise move, maybe? No, not quite. It's funny, really. Both Haas's, by the way, PB'd in session. Actually crazy.
Wow.
Yep. We had never set a lap faster than 0.8 before. In fact, I haven't set a lap faster than 0.9 before. That's 0.7 out of nowhere. Especially for me. I was already going in feeling not very good in general. Like, I'm not even talking about it in game terms, just I was quite tired for some reason. I went somewhere like an hour before the race just to get my mind going, if you will. It kind of worked. Then my brake didn't. But yeah, that kind of worked. And then, you know, point 0.7 came out of nowhere. I had no clue what my first lap time was, and then I checked that and I was, oh, okay, that's actually quite decent. Yeah, that's kind of how that went. But yeah, race approaching his closing stages here. Maybe Will has a bit less tire wear with how he's able to take this corner compared to Luke, but even still, if he does get through, he has to pull for, what, 3 seconds? Can he pull that off? And also, Felix isn't even that far behind either, although he does have 3 seconds, so...
Well, he kept gaining and gaining, but just not fast enough. Really nothing he could have controlled.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how he's feeling. I mean, all he's doing basically is just probably talking to Lars and going about his day. Like, it is a very boring day for Felix here on the racetrack. He's had, what, his first stint in the... most of it in the lead of the race. And then what? Pitted on his own, overtook a couple people, and there he was since. Yeah, it's not been exactly a great time of things for him. And he remains behind me somehow. That's crazy. They're still cooling their tires. Yep. Constantly going offline here for Tonio, for Kart Racer as well. So it does look like it poses quite an issue, these tire attempts. I've not got that far as to check how much it is, because in the practice races I was more focused on keeping the AI behind, because suddenly I had an 11 car train behind me. I don't know what it was. I don't know if my wet pace is that poor, but there we are. So I suppose. Oh,
No!
there he falls as well. Action, Rick.
No!
Ah, that leaves 3 of us. Oh, Jeremy's fallen off a bit. Maybe Lars can keep P3 after all, but yeah, 3 to go. Still going to be tough to hold on. 2.6 seconds from the Aston Martin to the RB in front. The rain is still on the same intensity, I'd say.
Well, it did get tougher than, like, I don't know, lap 40 and prior. But
oh
right
yeah,
now
definitely, yeah.
But right now it doesn't look like it's getting worse.
Yeah, Jeremy's just on a lap time in the 38. I'm pretty sure we saw 140s earlier, so either the wear is just, you know, non-existent and they're just able to go a bit quicker now, or the rain has actually just, you know, got a bit lighter. It's not much, definitely.
Well,
but maybe still
more than getting
considerable.
lighter, it looks like it just settled.
Yeah.
Staying consistent.
Rain's just kind of there. But yeah, then at the same time, you know, it would be quite cool for the F1 games if you had a very dynamic weather system. Although I don't know how much the 10-year-old Evo engine can handle. Yeah, imagine you had rain at Woodcut. You had rain hitting from the side of Copse, maybe, and then Copse would get a lot more water than maybe, I don't know, the back end of the track. Whoa, big side of Jeremy there. He's fallen out of 3 seconds. He's actually going to have to stretch his legs a bit. No, flex his muscles. And Lars can stretch his legs a bit, although he himself's also sliding. My goodness, they are pushing. He now knows he's got the chance to stay in P3, despite his penalty, so he's going to get the foot down and see if he can hold Jeremy off.
So it's
look at Will.
Seconds.
Will is close now, but he just can't quite get the closing speed. Oh, now he's made an error there. He's off the road. And, that's always okay. I thought that was going to be Will.
That was so much
timing was perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that, Felix, 1.5 seconds behind them. I mean, it won't make much difference now. But he is there. He's arrived now with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, if he makes a mistake, Felix is up there.
He can make the move on Will still. Pun not intended. Oh my god. Do you know Will still? He used to be like a gaffer for one of the French teams. Oh my god. That's a football joke. Oh my god. Oh well. Nobody heard that probably. That's the thing. It's always another 3 seconds. What is he doing
for
then?
Corner cutting, not even multiple warnings.
He's just... Let's see. Has he got anything to gain now anyway? I'll stay on always. He can go at the front.
But not really at the front. The only fight, quote-unquote fight I'm watching is Wiz and Luke.
Let's put it this way, he is pushing. He's pushing the track limits. Let's have a look now. Yep, Brooklands. Okay. Through Luffield. It's the wet patch. That line would work in real life. Yeah, I mean, he's having a bit of fun here. He's got no chance of points.
Let's see through cops. Just take it flat already. Oh, never mind.
Wait, how did he get a 3-second penalty there then? Did he cut that curb? Oh my word. Okay. As Antonio, by the way, starts the final lap of this race, it doesn't look like kart racing could put up a challenge. Oh, 79. Now his number makes sense.
He's about to lap P2's teammate.
Is he about to lap him, or is he just going to be a nuisance at this point? Now he goes, so nothing happens, obviously. Nothing untoward, if you will. Yeah, well, Antonio, strong performance here. F1's a tire debut, and looks like he's going to pick off a win. That's another 3 seconds for Always.
I mean, just look at the top 3. Antonio gained 15 places, starting from P16. Kart Racer starting from P14, now he's in P2. Lars starting from P15, now he's in P3. And we are yet to see if they're gonna keep that with penalties, but I do think they will, because Jeremy's 3.3 seconds behind Lars. So
bloody stab padders.
An absolutely amazing comeback, I have to say, by all 3 of these drivers. They had, well, surely they knew 52 laps was more than enough to make it up, but still they had to finalize it, especially through these very tricky weather conditions, and just deserving this podium. Not really anything much I can say about that one. They just kept pushing through, made the right strategy calls, and in the case of Antonio, was probably the fastest drivers out of everyone right here, and he can take home this very proud achievement of winning the 250th Division 1 race in F1 Total. Antonio wins the Silverstone Grand Prix. Kart Racer takes it home in P2 as he just laps his teammate over the finish line. Lars van der Linden almost lost at the podium, but Jeremy just said, you know what, you can take it. And Lars van der Linden will be the driver to finish in P3. So Jeremy, overall a solid P4, just misses out by 3/10. Luke, as he was fighting, and we can see Felix spinning in the background as he finishes in P7 behind Will. And it's a shame for Felix.
See, Willie's not Will, that's true.
Yeah. And
that's Coco.
It's a shame for Felix because the wrong strategy call actually only resulted in a P7. We can see Phantom Fox as well. Some questionable moves over the finish line. So that's Coco down to P9. Sean in P10 takes on the last point, and we have the Williams boys out of the points. Same for Aksharik, and then we have the DNS from Thok, Jirus, and my co-commentator right here.
Woo! Yep. Well, an eventful race after all, although obviously the rain did make racing quite difficult in the end. Phantom Fox does nab a position on penalties in the end. Rain Master, P8. But well, strong performances all round. We've got people from only the final 3 positions making the podium, which is quite typical of a race of this length. And well, there he is, showing off his iPhone 10 or something. Is Antonio there in P1?
Looks like more iPhone 6 or something.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's a bit small for an iPhone 6 really, but yeah, uses that opportunity to shake the hand for a very awkward long time. And yeah, lifts that P1 trophy into the sky at Silverstone in some very generic clothing.
And it's a Finnish flag on top after quite a long time, I have to say as well. We're always so used to see the German flag, now we see finally something different. And it's in the Ferrari suit, who definitely has seen better days recently in Division 1. So luckily Antonio is able to make that up. Felix, not really with the best result. He claims the fastest lap as well. That's the only accolade he takes home.
+7. So it's a 7-point haul then for Felix, putting him 11 behind me and not 12, as I originally assumed. Yeah, well, that puts to an end a very eventful race, a very interesting race, and one that should have gone maybe a bit longer than 2 corners for me. But Antonio picks off that victory. Very deserved. Nobody could really challenge him today. Well, what an evening we've had.
So something about I was thinking about before the stream started. I'm not sure if this is. I think there have been other 100% races back then in Division 1.
Yep.
Do you remember? When was it the last time?
I recall only one single 100% race, and that was race 100 in season 6. That was round 13 of Brazil. Yep, don't ask me why I remember that, but yeah, I was part of that one as well. The race winner was, I believe, Jeremy, actually. And it was clean, by the way, like nothing untoward there. Um, yeah, it was Jeremy. He took the win. I believe Fabian was in second, Kart Racer was third, and I was fourth because I missed out on a podium through quite possibly the funniest way ever, the most Alex way ever. My TV wanted to turn off as I was just on Inters, one lap earlier than the other guys, and I was in the penalty range of both Kart Racer and Fabian until, yeah, my TV decided to turn off. I had to pause my game and lost 2 seconds and finished fourth. But yeah, that's the only 100% race I recall. I don't think anything was done for race 200. Probably not, right? Um, yeah, well, that's the first time I've seen a Finnish flag up top in F1 Total since season 15, I think. Because at the Wet Mexican Grand Prix, we had a winner called, I forgot his actual name, but his PSN or his game tag was Basmati Risi, and he won the race driving for Ferrari. So actually, the last 2 winners from Finland were driving a Ferrari. What a random stat.
Reminiscent of Kimi Raikkonen, somewhat.
True. Off the top of my head as well. I didn't even pull up the stat sheet. I actually recalled that. Bloody hell. My mind goes too far with these things.
And about 100% races being held at Brazil, that's gonna be the case for Division 2, because we are actually celebrating the 100th race in Division 2. That's gonna be at Brazil, 100% for Division 2, 50% for Division 1, but that's like very late in the season, that's like around 13 or 12 or something.
I believe it's around 12, yeah.
I think we just have to wait for early September. But yeah, we now have a preview of what a 100% race will look like this season in Division 1. You're gonna see it the other way around at another very unpredictable weather track. That's gonna be Brazil, obviously, and
Yep.
I just hope for once I get a dry race, because we've had 5 out of 7 wet races in Division 2 with 50% distance. If it's no different with 100%, then I'll just headbutt a wall and not race again.
Yeah, I mean the luck you had on that one is mental. I mean luck, obviously. You know the what are the chances? Let's be real. Like
I'm not.
this is crazy.
Listen, I did some calculations with ChatGPT, but the thing is, I don't 100% trust ChatGPT with maths.
Fair.
But I'll just say for the fun is, he ended up saying that the possibility, like I actually ran some random Grand Prix mode to see how much it rains for every track. So with whatever result I had, I put them into ChatGPT. I asked him the chance for 5 out of 7 races to be wet. He actually ended up pulling 0.23%.
Oh my god.
Well, we don't know the game code for how often it can rain for every track, so that's not really reliable 100%, I guess. But still, even if you don't do the math, you can just think how improbable that is.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and also by the way, Div 1 had only dry races until this one. So there you go. Like,
Nonsense.
what are the chances of that?
I mean,
Bit likelier,
I love
yes,
26. It was dry, so we had to have a 100% race in Division 1 just for it to be wet.
True.
And
true.
in the meanwhile, we had 50% races 5 times being wet. Nonsense.
Yeah. So basically, under normal circumstances, we would still have a 100% dry racing record in Division 1. So yeah, you know, we needed a full race for that to be wet. Mental.
Yeah. So enough crashing out. I mean, if it ends up raining again next week, I don't know how am I gonna react. But anyway, on to next week, because it's gonna be the Spanish Grand Prix, round number 8 for both divisions. Division 2 is gonna come in earlier. Hopefully it doesn't rain again. And so yeah, thank you for watching this special race in the league's history. 250. I think we can both be very proud of what we've achieved. It's definitely an historical achievement in the history of F1 2000. So yeah, really glad we could be able to celebrate that one in the first place. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you, Alex, for giving me some company after your well, definitely your heartbreak after 2 corners.
Yeah.
Again, I feel for you, but
Yeah.
there's still plenty of
Nothing you
time
can do.
to make a comeback. We can see immediately from next week in Spain how it goes. So, again, thank you for watching, and on to the Spanish Grand Prix for next week for F1 Goodbye, everyone.